Right, welcome back everybody to rainy Cornwall. So a good day to be inside the polytunnel. I thought in this one I'd just go through what's happening in the tunnel in December, go through a few improvements I've made, some ideas I've got to make a passive greenhouse within the tunnel, because I haven't got a greenhouse. So I'm thinking I'm going to build myself in the middle bed here a passive greenhouse to try and keep the temperature up. So go through my ideas for that. If anybody has got any ideas on it, I'd love to know, because obviously I've not done it. We'll also just check out the green manures. Got 4 different ones going on, so we'll have a look at them and just a few other things. So take you off tripod. Let's go and have a look around. Right, so the first thing I've done, and it's been an absolute godsend, I've installed some lighting. I managed to get hold of a small compact generator off Marketplace. You know, one of those ones they say, oh, it was working when we put it away, but we can't guarantee it'll work now. But I took a punt, brought it home, give it a service, got it working, and I'm using that to feed my power. And I've got it in a small quiet box that I've made up, just so I'm not annoying the neighbour. It's got a light switch there, up over, put up some batten, put in the joiners and run it into these fluorescent strips. They're all waterproof, IP65, and yeah, so I've got 3 lights running up the tunnel, which has been an absolute godsend. You know, I can pop in after work, put the lights on, have a little look around, have a potter, and it's just made all the difference. It's been brilliant. So that's the first improvement and the biggest. Just something really simple, but it just makes life easy. I've just drilled some holes in all my tools I normally use, put in some screws, hung them on the end. The only thing is, I think I need to put a backing board, because they do move around a bit slightly in the wind. I don't want them to hurt the plastic, so I might put up a little backing board just behind them, just to make sure nothing happens to the plastic. The green manures, well, they're coming on pretty good. These are, well, they're 2 things. I've got field beans and a winter mix, which is grazing rye and winter tares. That's what's going on in this bed. The next bed, this is, there again, field beans, and I tried some white clover, but as you can see, they're not really grown away too quickly. I was late putting these in. You got to try these things, haven't you? Because you never know, and they may come to something. The next one is just field beans on their own. They've done really well, and to be honest, the star of the show is mustard and field beans. I mean, if you're looking for a cover crop, I think you'll struggle to beat this. This has worked really well. So, I mean, there are a few field beans in it, and mainly mustard, and hopefully doing this green manure in will really help with the tomatoes next year. Bit of wood there for the greenhouse I'm going to build inside. I took a chance, put in some dwarf French beans. They're not doing brilliantly, but we got 2, 3, so yeah, they're coming on. A few lettuces there. I've also got my raspberries, that the bed that they're going to go in has got field beans in outside. I'm trying to improve it, so they'll go out later on. We got some garlic and onion sets, Yes, I know I planted my sets too deep, but it's the first time I've done it, so I'll live and learn. So that's those in the boxes. They'll go out into the beds outside if it ever stops raining. Oh, up here, we've got the hanging shelf. Apparently you need a hanging shelf, especially for your sweet peas. Otherwise the mice eat them. But whether they do or not, I don't really know. I'll go the other side because I can get a bit closer. What I did is, to start with, because these are all my own seed, I did a few just to see what the germination rate was like. And when I knew they were all viable seeds, I then made up a much bigger tray just with toilet rolls, filled with compost, in some compost, so I can keep them watered. And yeah, they germinated pretty good. Purple sprouting broccoli, just being a broccoli really. But I got dianthus growing and flowering in December, which is always nice to see, a bit of colour. Got some red cabbage and some successional lettuce grown in here in the self-watering trays, just with a bit of guttering behind. And I have to say, that has worked brilliantly. It really has. Just moving down, got some strawberries in here and some runners in the front that I've just sorted out and gone through. This could be interesting because I've got strawberries outside and strawberries inside, and these are obviously a lot greener, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not they produce fruit earlier and flower earlier. So now up here I've got some lettuce in hanging baskets, which is brilliant for the slugs and that, but I have noticed some of them are going a bit, well, like it's like a mold on them. So I'm guessing that's a slight lack of airflow in here. But that's the only thing that's suffering, is the lettuce. More lettuce here coming on. And also I've got some field beans growing again, just in modules, just to fill in some gaps that I've got outside. So when they grow away, we'll stick them in the ground outside. Now, just to try, I've also got some carrots in the dustbin. And all I've done here is put sand in the dustbin, cored out some holes, filled them with compost, put in a couple of carrots. When they come through, I just thinned them out to one, put some, these pots have got no bottoms, they're hollow, and just put that around so that as the carrot grows and pushes out the ground a bit, I can just fill in the compost around the top of the carrot to stop it going green. It was just an experiment because I might try a bigger version of this for some show carrots. Carrots in boxes, they've come on really well. There again, I've nearly finished my carrots outside, and these are just about big enough to harvest. Just for a bit of colour, yeah, you've got the poppy, not poppies, what are they called? Well, I've got violas at the top, I know what they are. Oh, don't you just hate it when you completely forget? Oh well, you know what they are. Further down, just got, well, when I trimmed up the onions at the other end there, I found some more runners, so I just potted them in. Now, can I cut these off straight away, or the runner part, or should I leave them for a while? I figured there might be some nutrients going through, so I've left them. Underneath, we got the super XXL garlic. I know Jimmy, poor old Jimmy, is the bloody rat's got in the net is, but they haven't come up yet. So I'm slightly concerned. Just checking when I put them in. 19th of October. And not a sign yet, hopefully they'll come through. And here I've got some onions that I'm trying to put away for seed. Now, stupidly, when I cut the tops off, I cut this one a bit too much and nipped the top off the green growing tip. But it's pushed up since I've done it. So hopefully they'll grow away and give me some onion seed for next year. This one here, this little small one, he started to rot a little bit on the outside. So I've taken a few layers off that one. And hopefully it'll still grow away. And like I say, we'll have some big onion seed for next year. Far end, it's a bit of a tool storage at the minute because of the projects I got going on here. So yeah, just a load of tools. Water butt, still, I have emptied it and cleaned it and put it back in just to keep the algae away. Just a little bit of compost here for bits and pieces that I'm doing. And I think that's about, well, I haven't touched on the greenhouse, have I? My cunning plan, I've nicked this off Mark, really, from Gang and Peanut, because he lined his greenhouse with bubble wrap. Now I thought, because we're inside a tunnel, I could possibly get away with making a greenhouse out of bubble wrap. So I've ordered myself up, I think there's 25 meters of this bubble wrap. I got it from Elixir. And this is the bigger bubbled, tri-layered bubble wrap. It's horticultural bubble wrap. And it wasn't that much, to be honest. I think it was, I don't know, I think it was less than £30. So I figure, a cunning plan is to build up a framework as high as the cross members. Yeah, I know, I didn't think this through, did I? So I'm going to have to move the bloody light, but that's not an issue. Build up a framework, wrap it with bubble wrap, just staple it on, because it's only going to be temporary. And in the base, I'm going to level the bed off. I'm going to put in some Celotex insulation board, put some concrete slabs, paving slabs on top of that. So I've got reflecting the heat. I've got concrete for mass, for thermal mass. And I'm also going to put a couple of 205 litre water tanks inside, filled with water, paint them black, and hopefully they'll absorb the water and release it during the day or during the night when it gets colder. So hopefully that'll help to keep that greenhouse a little bit warmer. And if need be, I can heat it with either a gas heater or, you see the candles and pots and that sort of thing. So that's going to be a bit of an experiment. So that's going to be, well, for me, I think it's going to be interesting to see the temperature difference from just the polytunnel to in the greenhouse, and how easy it is to keep warm. Because I want to try and grow some peppers, bits and pieces like that next year. Right, I think that's about it. That's wrapped up what's going on. So I better get on and build this thing, haven't I? Yeah. I don't know what to say, really. That's it. That's the tunnel in December. A few flowers just to keep things interesting and have something nice to look at. Right. I better make a start with this. Thanks for watching. Cheers and go on.